not good at math, better pick a low one. Think of a number. Okay, you got a number in your mind, right? Okay, what I want you to do is double your number. Double it. I'm telling you about every number, just double it. Did you double your number? All right, add 10 to it. You got 10 with your number? All right, divide the number in half. All right, subtract the number you started with, your answer is 5. What was your number? What was your number? What was your number?
2.
And you all came to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. What we want to deal with today, guys, I do work in music. I wear many hats, as the brother said earlier.
Hold on 1 second. I will show out. I will show out.
As the brother said earlier, jack of all trades, master of none. I struggle with that. I try to do some of everything. As the other brother shared, I also was a military brat. My father was in the military, career serviceman. I moved around all my life and I settled in Atlanta around 92, 93. This area that you're in now, the reason why I'm so blown away by this facility, I'm blown away by the staff and the opportunity. I used to come with a friend to buy drugs from this very community years ago. It was a totally different East Lake Meadows that I remember. So when I saw I was coming to East Lake Meadows, totally different from what I remember. When I came out here, curbside service actually started here. When they serve you at the curb, this is where it started. And we would literally pull up and guys would flood to the ride, like, yo, I got what you need right here, and we would do our thing. So I want to talk to you guys. I'll share my musical story, but I also want to speak to you about a very serious matter that's on my heart, because my heart is really for this younger generation right now. Just giving you a brief history of who I am in music. When I did move down here, I was about 15 years old. My crew used to run downtown underground Atlanta. We would hang out down there, and I joined a crew called Conflict. The carefully informed, make sure I spell it right, carefully organized network for the informed, lyrically chaotic thinkers, something crazy like that. But when I joined this organization, or this group of people, I was 16 years old, young, impressionable, and we ended up becoming a robbing crew. For those who don't know who robbing crew are, the stick-up kids. Yes, get how you did. And wherever you front, that's where you get it. That's how we got that. No, I'm just telling you because I want you to know the history. Because today we're going to talk about the power of change. Because you have the power to change. But I joined the robbing crew at 16 years old. It was an older gentleman. I'm not going to put his name on blast, but he grabbed him by the neck like, yo, we're going to get this money. Dude over there owe me, you go in there and hit him in the mouth. Like, yeah, hit him in the mouth. Now, like now, dude, now. So as a kid, you know, this guy's like a boxer. I'm like, okay, I got you. So I can go to the guy. Now I'm turning my head like I'm gonna get beat down, and dude just comes out of his side view like, where my money? Pull, where my money? I'm like, oh, what's going on? The whole crew. And that's how we would get paid. Because you owe dude money. And if you owe them money, you better not be downtown. You know? And if you didn't do what he said when he told you to do it, you got slapped in the face the next time you came downtown. So and I'm gonna tell you how stupid this was. I'm gonna tell you how foolish it was. At 16 years old, one of my closest friends that we used to run with, we were tight, we did a couple of things together, and I said, yo man, you know what, this dude gonna get somebody killed, man. We need to stop this. And he's like, oh man, come on, it's cool, man, come on, what's going on? I said, no dude, I'm telling you, we need to stop this mess, man. This dude gonna get somebody killed. Well, we was at the train station. I said, I'm going to the underground to go meet some young ladies, have some fun. He went to meet with this other individual, and he ended up getting charged with involuntary manslaughter. They originally was murder, and he had to do 10 years. And I watched my friend at 16 years old get put away, and he did not get released until he was 26 years old. I had another friend who was 15, from Philly. It's crazy guys. These guys so crazy. They try to hit Lennox. I was like, man, you don't touch Lennox. These cats would hit Lennox. I said, oh, y'all crazy. So I ran with these cats. And they would hit Lennox. I was like, I ain't that bold now. Come on, really? But they would do this. And this young man, him and another one, they decided, hey, man, we're finna go hit this martyr bus. So they stuck up a whole martyr bus. They're like, yo, everybody put it in the eye. Give it up. Mind you, he didn't have a getaway car. He threw was gonna get on another bus afterwards. And then one night I got caught, and I watched this young man get 15 years thrown at him for armed robbery. So see, I thought I was smart. You know, I was young. I used to rap on the side. I ended up getting involved in the battle scene, and I did these battles down here. They used to have called Blaze battles. This is way before y'all's generation. Probably never heard of it. But they did Blaze battle in '99. I was here. I was Atlanta's Blaze battle champion. I would battle in just about any club, any venue. I put out a flyer with Black Diamond Entertainment. We'll battle the whole city of Atlanta. Every rapper, come on, come on. Let's just have this one big battle. And I went from Atlanta to doing it in Orlando, which led me to New York when they did the HBO Blaze battle. And I got to do comic view and do a few things. And I was really excited about, you know, where my career was going. And I decided, because I always had that second crime element where I was running with criminals, because I'm going to tell you another side that you may not necessarily embrace, but you have to be careful who you affiliate with, who you put around you, because when you're involved in music, you will attract all types of people. Not everybody's there for your good. I've seen people slip drugs, they black out, wake up, don't know how they got to where they are with no clothes on. No, seriously, don't even know where their car is. Yes. I've seen young ladies in tri-tape clothes in 112. The girl came, see my boy Dolo, we like, what's up? She blacked out because somebody slipped a Mickey right in front. She was like, and she just fell out, we had to catch her. It's not.
What is a Mickey?
A Mickey is a drug. It's something used to make somebody black out unconscious. What they'll do is, that's why you never drink anything that somebody give you. You need to watch your drink. They will literally slip it in there while you're not looking, and you drink, you're having a good time, and then the room starts spinning, and they'll carry you out and do whatever they intended to do. So it's very serious. You see what I'm saying? It's another side of it that I want y'all to be aware of. It's very serious. But at any rate, I ran with the negative element to where I decided, you know what, I'm just going to cut these guys off. But before I knew it, I ended up getting grabbed by the Cobb County, and I was charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault. Yeah, I went low. I got hit with armed robbery, aggravated assault. This was around 2001. The prosecutor was not willing to try to cut me a deal. They were saying, nah, we want you to do the whole 15 for the armed robbery, 2 to maybe 20 years for the ag assault. I had a co-defendant, his family, and like many of you, we brought up with that whole no snitch thing, so neither one of us made a statement. We were like, we ain't talking nothing. You just gonna give us the time or what? My wife actually was always trying to pull me into the church, and I was always running the opposite direction. So I called her, I'm like, hey, listen, I need y'all to pray for me, man. You know, I'm trying to go to Germany next month. And they talking about giving me some time, you know, because you just pray to God and talk to them to get me up out of jail. And she was like, Micah, do you want to get saved? I said, nah, I don't want to get saved. I just don't want to go down the road. You just ready to get me out. You know, I'm by church, you know, you good. And we got off the phone. The last thing that her mother and her told me was, you need to take this time to get to know God. So when I hung up the phone, I said, man, I ain't getting no God out there. What am I getting no man here for? I'm tripping. And I just went on my way. The second night when I was in there was when God spoke to me. He said, yo, you don't control anything. And I realized at that point, I don't. I couldn't even go to the bathroom and do what I wanted to do. I'm in the cell with a roommate, do whatever God, you know, the guards tell you to do. And he said, let me worry about carefree. And I said, well, Lord, if I'm not this entity, if I'm not this person who I was, that was all I know. Because I'm going to be honest, y'all got a great school here. I went to like 5 high schools. I had a behavior problem. The last school I ended, I went to Tri-Cities, I went to Cedar Grove, I was at Cross Keys. I was at Cedar Grove for 1 day. I went to all 3 lunch periods. They said, yo, you gotta go. You can't be up in here. I didn't make it long. They bounced me around, man. I was one of the board of education. They're like, yo, we gotta do something with this kid. So they sent me to Cross Keys. That's why I met like Akon and his people. It's an international school, North Side. And I ended up at Open Campus. I pray none of y'all ever end up at Open. It's not in the same place I hear, but I pray none of y'all end up there. At Open Campus, I saw kids get their face cut open with box cutters. I seen people pulling guns. I saw crazy things, you know, that shouldn't be in the school systems. But back then, anything pretty much goes. And when you a young dude, you just pretty much, you can't really say nothing. You either get with it or you get rolled over. So I'm so proud of the opportunity y'all have here today, man. When I look at your school and I see Apple computers, I was like, yo, nobody trying to get them out of here. Apple computers. man. Seriously. All that Apple computers, man. You know, when I seen the chairs, I'm like, you serious? Like they roll? This is alright. This is alright, like for real. But no, in all seriousness, what I really want you to understand is you have an opportunity here. When I hear your guys' goals, man, I'm talking college, working with computers and gaming, you know, working with the heart, like the heart. We don't even have hearts with the schools I went to. You know, it's just the opportunity that you have now. Don't waste it. Don't make foolish mistakes running with the wrong people and end up having to pay for something that you're not ready to pay. For real, for real. Don't waste your life with people who are not going to try to put into you things that are positive to get you to that next level.
Say that again.
Don't waste time with people that are not trying to invest in you things that are positive to take you to that next level. See, the guys that I ran with, honestly, most of them, I don't know where they are now. Some went to prison, some went wherever else. Some are dead. I had some homeboys got killed. That's just life. And in high school right now, everything is a game, everything is fun, everything is a joke. But you're going to hear a teacher tell you this time and time again if you haven't already. I got my degree. I'm here every time you already know. But I'm going to tell you something. I know you're tired of hearing it, but what you got to understand is, I'm going to ask you this question right quick. And this is something I learned from my wife's, actually, mother and grandfather. People will tell you experience is the best teacher, right? And you'll believe the hype. You got to be careful what you perceive as the truth. You say, oh yeah, experience is the best teacher. So you got to go to prison to know not to go to prison. Because experience is the best teacher. Learning from someone else's mistake and say, I'm not going to go that way. Now that might be the best teacher. So you need to believe in the power of change. You may have been told, I know I was like 5th grade, the teacher told me I would never be nothing. The power of life and death is in the tongue. People believe what they hear. Because I allowed somebody to speak that and come over me, I believe at that point, like, right, I ain't going to be nothing, but I'm going to be the baddest nothing there is. You got to change your mindset. Just funny now, but it wasn't funny when I was getting locked up. But you gotta change your mindset. See, when you look at these young men that are getting killed right now, and we've seen it, on the news time and time, we just seen little girls slammed at a pool party just recently. When you see these type of things going on, you have to wake up and realize that there has to be a time for a change. You gotta change. See, the older generation is different from how your generation is coming up. And each generation, as they keep growing, they're going to continue to feel like when you guys get 27, 37, when you get up there, you're going to start feeling like, man, they old. The younger kids going to feel that way about you too. You will step away from it. So you got to recognize that when somebody is actually trying to invest something positive into you, it behooves you to listen. Just to find out what they're talking about and to see where it's going to take you in life. I wrote a few things down. I didn't want to stray too far. But I had a few statistics that I want to share with you all that I want y'all to think about. The man who actually changed Eastlake, Tommy Cummings, I did a little study on him. Really impressed with the fact that somebody would pour in money into a neighborhood that even the mayor at the time, Mayor Shirley Franklin said, we had given up. She was like, everybody had given up. I was shocked that, that even the mayor would be as vocal to say that. But I know how it was before. It was, wow, there were no new houses. I almost missed the turn. Because I was the golf I said, yeah, the spot was right there. Oh, wait a minute. The liquor store over there, it was rough, man. And I imagine it still has its little things going on. But what I want y'all to take away from this is this. This school went from being number 69 to number 1 in Atlanta. From number 69 to number 1 in Atlanta. Also, I want to stress you the importance of your education and your reading, because the number of prisons built in Georgia was based upon 4th grade reading skills. Y'all know that? If a kid can't read by 4th grade, they're more than likely going to end up in prison. So they know how many prisons to build, how many extra rooms they need, and prisons have been privatized. So the private prison industry is booming right now. They're like, hey, buy property, build a prison, house them. Because the government, everybody's paying them to keep people in there. I'm trying to prevent that. That's why I'm here, honestly. I really want to prevent that. from happening to anybody.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Y'all know what he's talking about? When he said private, they make building prisons to make money? Y'all get what he's saying with that? I just wanna make sure that's hitting home. Like, this is what they're planning for us.
90%, they're mandated to be at 90% occupancy by the state. The private prisons, they demand that they have 90% prisoners. There was a judge in Philadelphia that was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison because he was making sure that the prisons had the numbers that they needed.
It's quoted.
Do you understand? So you might have went in there guilty or not as guilty, but guess what? You were leaving that with some time spent.
Yeah. They're making sure they're filling up in jails now. They got plenty more. Okay. Another thing I want to share with you is, if you drop out of high school, you're 63% of times more likely to be incarcerated than college graduates. So you have to be aware of what's going on out here. You got to know what's up. You know, some of them cats you see on the corner right now, or you go to the store, they're hanging out. When you become a grown person, driving in your nice car, married with a family, whatever, them cats are still doing that same corner. Like, hey, bro, what's up, man? You got a dollar, man? Come on, man. Try to go get me a white owl right quick. Hook me up. You know, they're still in that same corner. So you got to embrace change. And you got to embrace change to the point to where I'm willing to change myself if I have to. Because you can't allow others to push you into something that you don't want to be into, or to be somewhere that you don't want to be. I want to share this with you to help you understand why I made my change that I did. Dr. King said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I'm going to pass these around. You can just look at them and pass them back to my wife if you can, please. This is actually a proof. I wrote a book called From Blaze to Glory. It basically shares my testimony from when I was battling to preaching. I'm actually a minister, author, motivational speaker, songwriter now. But I wrote this book as an encouragement to try to help the future generations. It's a little advertising plug here, I guess. But I wrote this to help them to understand what all transpired, what took place, what brought me to the point to where I decided that I was willing to walk away from what others would say is a dream. You know, I had opportunity to make this money, do all these things. I walked away from it for the purpose of civil servanthood. Because Dr. King made a very good point. What are you doing for others? I hear the sister say she wants to work in the medical field. That's awesome. That's outstanding. It pays well. But the most important thing that she said that rang true when she said the medical field was the fact that it was an act of tragedy of your grandmother that drew you to want to have a heart for other people. I got a niece that actually is a doctor. She finished her residency, making real good money in Ohio, really successful right now. And my niece Deanna, what drew her to the medical field was when she saw that her sister developed a blindness as a child, and that she would be blind. And my niece devoted her life to being a doctor to try to cure her blindness. So a situation that happens in your life can make you change. A person that you meet, an impact can make you change. Young ladies, y'all can meet a brother and he can have a nice car, have all the nice things, and you like, man, this dude got it going on. But he might be doing some things the illegal way, and he end up getting locked up, getting you locked up with him, you in trouble, and now your whole life is what? Changed. Because of the decision you made. I want you to think about all the people you know right now. Everybody you know in your life that you've met, and you can think of who you've done with. Everyone you meet, one of two things is happening. Either they're influencing you, or you're influencing them. Think about that. Everybody you meet, either they're influencing you, or you are influencing them. When you get with people, you might be a dude that's like, man, I just wear my clothes like this, you know. But you get a homeboy that's like, man, I'm pulling one pants leg up. And a week later, you find yourself doing what? Pulling one pants leg up. Why? Because he did it. The cops come, dude take over. I had a guy tell me this, saddest thing, young man. I volunteered for DFACs and the orphanages and homeless shelters, and this young man said, man, everybody else was running, so I ran too. But he the one the cops grabbed. Yeah. And I said, why'd you run? He said, I don't know, I ain't do nothing to. I seen everybody else run, I ran too. See, people are influenced. So you gotta decide what are you gonna allow to influence you. Are you going to allow the negative to influence you? Or are you going to allow the positive to influence you? You got to make a positive choice, and you got to be willing to make that change. I'm going to share a few people that I noticed made a difference in their life. And this is not a political plug because I don't know about his presidency stuff, but Dr. Ben Carson was one who I've always used as a good example of change. Y'all know who Dr. Ben Carson is?
Yes.
Good. No? Good, we'll share it. Dr. Ben Carson was one who had all F's and D's when he was in school. He would tell himself, he would tell his parent, his mother, he was like, Mom, I'm dumb. Me and my brother, we're dumb. We're not going to get any better. This is what Dr. Ben Carson told himself. He was failing miserably. His mother was actually part illiterate. She couldn't really read. But what she did, she would pretend to check his homework, even though she couldn't read. So his mother decided, I want you to read 2 books a week, and at the end of the week, you're going to write me a book report on those books. Just 2 books a week. You know that man went from F's and D's to all A's and B's? And that he went on to become a neurosurgeon, and that he separated conjoint twins at the back of the head. He actually was one of the first to ever do it successfully and save both lives. The power of change. The power of change. Don't ever let somebody tell you what you can't do that they haven't done themselves. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something that they haven't done themselves. We live in a society where people like to tell you, you ain't gonna never be, you ain't gonna never do this, you can never do that, you can never do that. Have you ever done it? No. Well, if you've never changed, how you gonna tell me I can't change? Never underestimate the power of change. Another gentleman that I also like was Lonnie Johnson. You familiar with Lonnie Johnson? Lonnie Johnson's right here in Atlanta too. Originally from Alabama, but he's right here in Atlanta. Lonnie Johnson was a gentleman who went to college, studied hard, did good. He ended up working for NASA. He served in the military, he worked for NASA. But Lonnie Johnson is actually the inventor of the Super Soaker. You ever seen the Super Soaker guns? Lonnie Johnson, the black man, he was an inventor. He created the Super Soaker. The Nerf guns that they have, all of those are built by Lonnie Johnson, those are designs he has. He even has a battery about the size of the hill of this shoe that can power a car, but they won't fund it. But he has the capability in his laboratories here in Atlanta. He has 2 laboratories here. Dr. Lonnie Johnson. Well, I won't say doctor, he's just lying. But Lonnie Johnson, Ben Carson is a doctor. I don't know doctor. Gotta correct that. But Lonnie's smarter than me a doctor. If you can do that, you work for NASA. And I have a son that likes science. My son told me, Daddy, I want to grow up, I want to work for NASA. And I said, no, son, you don't want to grow up and work for NASA. You want to own NASA or you want to build their competitor. You want to build a product that NASA has to buy from you. Don't ever settle. Don't ever settle. Just be average. Go above and beyond. Go above and beyond. I had another example. I shared Ben Carson, shared Lonnie. That was another one I looked to. And another thing about Ben Carson too is the fact I wanted to bring out was he went on to become the director of the pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins University at age 33. He's one of the youngest to ever hold that title, which is really awesome. Now my third example is the reason for my personal change and the reason why I go out to serve others in the community. One of his quotes that meant the most to me, he said that if you want to be the greatest among your brother, you'll become their servant. That stood out to me. I was like, I want to be the greatest, I'll become their servant? What do you mean? And he began to put things in perspective as I studied more of his words, where he said, what would it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, that's deep. So it made me reevaluate some things in my life. And it was because of this man that I was able to change from being a stick-up kid, from being an armed robber, from being out here doing what I was doing in the streets, to actually going to homeless shelters, going to children in orphanages, and going out to the masses and trying to spread the message of change. And this was Jesus. Jesus Christ. He had no servants, yet they called him master. He had no degree, yet they called him teacher. He had no medicines, yet they called him healer. He had no army, yet kings feared him. He won no military battles, yet he conquered the world. He committed no crime, yet they crucified him. He was laid in the tomb, and yet he lives again today. With 3 years of his life, he was able to impact a young man in a jail cell at 7 Northwest 103 DeKalb County in 2001. With just 3 years of his life, he was able to change that young man and to cause him to realize that life isn't all about me and myself and what I can get, but what can I do to help humanity and others? With 3 years of his life. Some of y'all are 15, 16, 17, 19, well not 19 yet, 18, or you guys are up in age, you see what I'm saying? With 3 years of his life, he was able to make that big of an impact on the world. What can we do today if we just wake up as a society and realize we all have the power of change within us? So I hope that you guys were inspired today, and I hope that you guys will consider what I said about the power of change. And as I stated before, the reason for my change was Jesus Christ. It made me a new person, and I encourage each of you to study, learn of him, and see his ways. And I pray that you're blessed. My wife, she sings actually. I'm hoping she'll come join me. I might play a tune on guitar in the sport of music.
Can I piggyback off of one thing you said?
Yes, sir.
About that whole embracing change? I charge each and every one of you, though, to be the change that you want to see in the world. You know, like if you feel like, hey, this is not going right, then you need to do what you need to do to implement that change or to be that change. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You take that. Embrace that change. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother. Yeah. All right.